My name is Chloe, welcome to my channel, and I guess it's time for the mid-year book freakout tag. So I think I did this last year, so I will link it in the description if I did, but I just feel like this is a rite of passage, this video. Is that even the word I mean? It's just a required video per year. So I'm really excited to be jumping into it this year. I did have some problems picking books. I've read some great books so far this year. I've read some disappointing books so far this year. So I guess I should just stop talking and tell you what they are. The first prompt is the best book you've read so far this year. And I did have some issues narrowing this down, but I've gone for Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett. So Jen Bennett is my favourite author, and I love this book so much that I have named my book club after it. So the book club is called Sisters Approximately, with myself and Brittany from the Never-Ending Reader, if you're unaware. So Alex Approximately is a very, very cute YA contemporary. It is about Bailey. Definitely is, right? Yeah, Bailey, I'm not good with character names. Who moves in with her dad in California. Yeah, California. Again, place names, character names, still clueless. And she has met this person, Alex, online, and they get talking about their film interests. And it turns out she's moving to the town that he lives in. And she's kind of scared to tell him. She doesn't really know why, but she doesn't really want to meet him straight away. She just wants to get settled and stuff. And then she meets this great guy who's actually a bit of an idiot, called Porter. In the town, and they become friends, and it's just the cutest book that I've read so far this year. I did tab it up as I read it. I had an amazing time reading this. I did actually annotate as well, love it. And I will definitely be rereading this by the end of the year. And this is going to be fun for editing. Well done, Chloe, because I keep moving the books as I go. And did you see my sisters made me a Chloe Reads Books sign? How cute. Anyway, and now I'm stood in front of it. The next question is the best sequel you've read so far in 2020, and I've gone for City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. This is the 5th book in the Shadowhunters series, and I'm pretty sure it is the first one since City of Bones that I've given 5 stars. Thoroughly enjoyed this book. If you don't know anything about the Shadowhunter universe, I don't think I can explain it all very quickly, but there are Shadowhunters who are humans with a little bit of angel in them, and they kill demons. And you've also got the Downworlders, which are warlocks, vampires and werewolves and fairies, and it's a very much what's the word, urban fantasy, where it's a fantastical world but in present day New York. So genuinely loved this book. I don't really know what more I could say about it because it's the 5th book, but if you've never picked up Cassandra Clare's books, I've seen a few people saying they're going to start reading them, and you just should. So if you're considering it, drop me a message, I'll help you out. Next is a new release that you haven't read yet but you really want to, and I've had to go and get my laptop for this, because I've gone for one on NetGalley. I've gone for Grace is Gone by Emily Algar. So this was actually published on the 20th of February this year, and it is a thriller. It says Meg and her daughter Grace are the most beloved family in Ashford, the linchpin that holds the community together. So when Meg is found brutally murdered and her daughter missing, the town is rocked by the crime, not least because Grace has been sick for years and may only have days to live. Who would murder a mother who sacrificed everything and take a teenager away from the medication that could save her life? Everyone is searching for an answer, but sometimes the truth can kill you. So that is an arc that I got approved for on NetGalley, and I still haven't got around to it, so I would definitely like to read it by the end of the year, because NetGalley, as I'm filming this, we're in the last couple of days of Galley-a-thon, which was a readathon run by Connor at Connor's Library Corner, and other people that I should have checked before I started talking. Chloe, you're a horrible person, but their names have slipped my mind. Either way, I said I was going to read some of my NetGalley arcs, and I haven't, so that's definitely a new release I need to get around to. Next is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year. So I have obviously gone for Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. I have pre-ordered this. Hopefully it will be turning up on the day it's actually released. I'm so excited. If you've been living under a rock, this is Twilight retold from Edward's perspective, which is, to me, a complete money-grabbing scheme, but I don't care. I will buy it. Twilight has been a massive part of like my teenage life, and the fact that Midnight Sun is actually being published was the best news to me, so I cannot wait to get my hands on this book. The next question is your biggest disappointment, and that is a book I've already unhauled, and that is The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. I really wanted to love this book, and it turned into 500 pages of stuff I wasn't interested in. It was a thriller. I don't even know if I could talk you through the synopsis. It really bored me to tears, and the big twist at the end didn't shock me. I wasn't interested. I didn't care. It's just probably one of the, maybe not the worst book I've read so far this year, but one that I was really hoping to love, and I hated it. The next question is your favourite new author, so either a debut author or one that's new to you. And I've gone for Beth O'Leary, author of the Flatshare, and I have actually just bought the Switch, which is her newest release, but it hasn't arrived yet at the time of filming this. So the Flatshare in particular is about Tiffy and Leon, who share a flat, but they don't only share the flat, they share the bed, and they manage this because Tiffy works days and Leon works nights, so they're actually never in the flat at the same time as each other, and they communicate through leaving notes throughout the house, the flat, and stuff like that. And it is just one of the cutest adult romances I have ever read. And as I always say when I get this book out, my edition is gorgeous. It is grey and rose gold, and I absolutely love it. But Beth O'Leary, I believe this was her debut. I could be wrong. I'm 90% sure this was her debut, and I absolutely loved it, and I can't wait to see what the Switch is like. The next question is your newest fictional crush, and I have gone for Colton Farm, Falling for the Cowboy by Kennedy Fox. So I only read this book because it was about a Texas cowboy called Colton. My boyfriend, he's not from Texas, he's from Illinois, but I think he looks like a cowboy, and his name is also Colton. So I have been doing a video where I read cowboy romances, which I don't believe will be up by the time this video is up because I'm in a bit of a slump with them for some reason. But yeah, this cowboy shares the same name as my boyfriend. A lot of the things he said could have come from my boyfriend's mouth. And yeah, I mean, I think his eye colour was different, but I was having a bit of a hot moment. Newest fictional crush by far, and only because I pretend it is actually my boyfriend, so sorry. The next question is your newest favourite character, and I have gone for Rev from More Than We Can Tell by Bridget Kemmerer. This is potentially my favourite Bridget Kemmerer book. It's sort of the sequel to Letters to the Lost, but following different characters. And Rev is just a very interesting character to read from. So it is Rev struggles with the memories and demons of the time before he was adopted. He always managed just fine until a letter from his birth father brings hellfire, fear and danger back into his life. So Rev meets Emma, who's also got her own stuff going on, but nothing compared, like nothing similar to Rev at all, but they both have their own little struggles going, and Rev and Emma meet and form a fast friendship. And I just think he was such an interesting character to read from. My buddy read this with Emily from Novel Novels, and I mean, it says, looking for answers, they found each other, and he's just like the guy at school that you wouldn't want to be seen with. Like, he wears a hoodie in the middle of summer, and he's like mysterious and dangerous looking, and I really enjoyed reading from his perspective. Next is a book that made you cry. I cry at a lot of things very easily, but the book I've gone for is Wonder by RJ Palacio. I read this as part of the Believeathon hosted by Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin. Seriously loved this book. This is a middle grade about disability and accepting disability and the struggles that kids might have with being friends with someone completely different from them and how they like learn to understand that it's okay to be different, I guess. This book really made me sad because it did include quite a lot of bullying of our main character August. I don't think we ever get an official diagnosis of August. We just know that he has a facial difference that the kids are very aware of. And some of them are really rather cruel, so it was quite hard to read, but at the same time, like, it was so powerful. And the last couple of chapters of this, I just descended into tears. I couldn't cope with it. It was very sad, and I'm so glad I read it. And if I could recommend that all kids read one book at school, I'd probably say Wonder. Next is a book that made you happy, and I've gone for one I read very recently, and that is Perfect Chemistry by the author whose name I will never learn to pronounce. I'm so sorry, I need to stop trying, I need to do some research, I say that every time. This is a YA romance. It's insanely tropey. I think it's from like 2010. No, 2009. And this is about Brittany, who is the girl at school, like the popular girl, and she has a perfect life and a perfect boyfriend, but she doesn't really, and she's struggling at home with her sister. She has a sister with cerebral palsy who needs quite a lot of help, and people aren't too kind towards her, so she just sort of, without use of a better word, she sort of hides that she has her sister, and just presents this perfect life. And then we also get introduced to Alex, who is a gang member, and he is very much like the hard guy doing drug deals and sleeping with everybody. And yeah, this is about the two of them coming together and finding true love. It says 2 different worlds, 1 true love, and it was so cheesy, so predictable, but I absolutely loved it, and I think I gave it 4 stars. Like, that was, it was definitely not a 5-star book. I could see the issues with it, but the enjoyment I got from this was definitely 4 stars worth of enjoyment. Next is The Most Beautiful Book You've Acquired, and I have Emily to thank for this over at Emily Kathleen Reads, and that is The Little Prince by Antoine. Do you know what? We'll say Antoine. Can you even see that, or is the gold washing it out? I will also put the name on the screen. I definitely can't pronounce that, and I'm not going to embarrass myself trying. So this already looks cute because it's small, but then we see that it has gold like edges. The end pages are like this really cool leaf thing going on, and then the actual cover is this like blue cloth bound sort of thing with an imprint on it. I am in love with this book. It is so gorgeous. I knew this edition was going to be pretty from when I put it on my Goodreads. Oh my god, it has a ribbon bookmark too. I had no idea. Here we go, this has just got 100 times better because it's got a ribbon bookmark. There are also little pictures throughout this, and I genuinely can't wait to get around to it. This is definitely the most beautiful book I've acquired so far this year. And finally, the last question is, what books do you need to read before the end of the year? So I am having a 20 backlist books I want to read in 2020 challenge that's ongoing right now. I did a check-in video to this last month, which I will link in the description so you can go and check it out if you want, but there are a couple books in there that I still haven't got around to. I think I've got about 50% of them left, and so halfway through the year I'm not too mad. But then I just wanted to pick another couple off my shelves that I do need to read. One I'm dying to get around to is Do Not Disturb by A.R. Torr, which is the sequel to The Girl in 6E. It's been so long since I read The Girl in 6E that I would really like to reread it before reading Do Not Disturb. So that is one random book that I want to get read. I also really want to read The Vanishing Stair by Maureen Johnson, which is the sequel to Truly Devious. Are these copies different sizes? No, they're the same. So The Vanishing Stair was a birthday present from my boyfriend at the start of the year, and I haven't got around to it yet, and I do think I'd need to reread Truly Devious before reading The Vanishing Stair. So I guess that actually makes these 2 books 4 books that I need to read by the end of the year, and I definitely don't want to get into the habit of rereading the first book and then not picking this up straight away, because I do that a lot. So yeah, those are some books I want to read by the end of the year. So that is all on this tag. I really do hope you enjoyed it. I'm now going to sit and go back through my channel and see if I did do this last year, because I'm intrigued to see what my answers were to the questions. And yeah, I can't believe we're halfway through the year already, which it's slightly stressful. So thank you very much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.